Hey guys, I'm Brian.
And I'm Anna.
And we are
Those Annoying Vegans!
Thank you for joining us.
Switched it up.
We did. We turned it around. Usually she says her name first, but we did that.
Just 'cause.
Thank you for joining us for another video. Before we get started, please guys, if you like the channel, if you enjoy what we do, if you get something out of our content, please give us a like, subscribe to the channel, click that bell to make sure you don't miss any of our videos.
And thank you so much to all of our Patreon patrons. You guys really help us in our activism. And just to let you know, every single dollar that you donate, every single dollar that we get from our Etsy sales, all of that goes to our activism efforts.
And of course, you can check out our Instagram page, our Facebook page. And speaking of Instagram, recently we posted a meme on Instagram that we kind of thought would be a meh, like pretty non-controversial
obvious
meme. Here it is.
But no.
No, we learned people did not like this meme.
No.
In particular, non-vegan veterinarians.
I mean, as you can see, all we're effectively saying is that if you care about animals to the point where you're dedicating your life to their well-being, to caring for them, to treating them, then maybe consider not paying for their needless suffering, torture, abuse, and death. Seems pretty straightforward, right?
It's pretty reasonable.
We got an influx of non-vegan veterinarians who were really triggered by this post. A lot of the comments had a similar vibe to the kind of comments we get from farmers or maybe even from non-vegans who work in animal rescue. And we think this is because they are self-proclaimed animal lovers, or in the case of farmers, they claim to care about animals.
Yeah, animal welfare or the way they treat their exploited animals.
They work in areas where they are viewed, or they think they are viewed, as being kind to animals. Being challenged on that can really hit the core of a person's reality.
So we want to share with you guys some of the examples of the pushback that we received on this, and then we want to sort of sum up what the argumentation is and our rebuttal to it. By the way, there were also a handful of comments related to nutrition, talking about how humans need animal flesh and secretions for some reason. These were mostly just asserted. The Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics, which is the largest organization of nutrition professionals in the world, and they are not vegan. This is a non-vegan organization. They released a peer-reviewed statement in 2016 saying that completely plant-based diets are perfectly adequate, perfectly nutritious for all stages of life when they are well planned. So
but
nutrition
Brian,
arguments aren't arguments against veganism.
But Brian, this one girl on Instagram said that they were wrong.
Yes. Yes. Some lady says that the largest body of nutrition professionals in the world are wrong.
They're based on decades of flawed data, says this random person on Instagram.
Sure. Now, for those of you out there who are dealing with these similar comments, these nutrition and health-based comments, simply ask questions. Just ask questions. In return, we found that you never get a response. So for example...
Oh my gosh, no. That happens a lot on here, on YouTube.
Yeah. This one person says, it's not for pleasure, it's for nutrition that we eat them. Look at you looking all sick and malnourished.
By the way, they don't have a profile picture. Yeah. They have one post.
It's convenient.
Who knows who they are?
We replied, what do you get from animals that you can't get from plants?
No
Silence.
reply.
And here's another one. Eating livestock and wild game is for nutritional gains and population control. To which we said, nutritional gains? What do you get from animals that you can't get from plants? No response. This is the through line. Just ask questions. Simple. Keep it simple, straightforward. Ask questions.
The fact is, most people don't know how to answer these questions. They were never concerned about nutrition until you brought up veganism.
By the way, some vets, not all vets, but a lot of vets are not really informed on animal nutrition either, which goes along with the fact that most medical doctors are not informed on human nutrition, because being a nutritionist, whether you're an animal nutritionist or a human nutritionist, is kind of its own field. Veterinarians, if they are informed on the nutrition, they don't seem to act on it. If they are informed, like prescribing medicated kibble to fix a problem that was caused by like non-medicated kibble.
Yeah.
It just seems
I mean, the idea
strange.
of cats eating kibble every day of their lives is just so contradictory to what their biology asks for. If you want to know what we feed our cats, search for the videos. We made 3 of them.
And the bottom line is that veganism is not a diet. It's an ethical philosophy that seeks to exclude the exploitation of animals as far as what's possible and practicable. So when discussing veganism, one can really only discuss ethics because everything else is just, environmentalism or plant-based nutrition or animal welfare or, the reduction of animal suffering in farming or, getting rid of factory farms. That's none of that is veganism. Those are all just other things. Now, if we get into more of the ethical arguments that people were making,
The veterinarians, particularly.
Largely non-vegan veterinarians. Someone says, this post is incredibly cringeworthy coming from someone in the veterinary field. Pretty awful comparison. Another reason why I'll never be a vegan. To which we replied, what's awful about the comparison? Do you actually have a counter-argument? Now, the comparison that they're talking about is in the comments of this post. We said that a veterinarian eating animals is analogous to a pediatrician eating children. Because a veterinarian cares for animals and eats animals, a pediatrician cares for children, and if they ate children, that would then
weird.
Be analogous. They then come back and say, got a degree in this field and studied this topic over the 4 years of my college education at an incredible university that promotes utmost proper humane treatment of species that will continue to feed bellies and supply us with plenty of nutrients. We will continue to educate others with research that is proven, but at the end of the day, that it's all about opinion. I respect vegans, but don't appreciate being bashed and not respected back, considering my lifelong dream has been to make the animal world a better place through medicine. We do care, that's why we enter the field. We asked her, what about the comparison is awful, and do you have a counter argument? As you can see, that was never addressed.
Deflection, that will be the topic of our next video. These veterinarians, they go into this field, ask any child who wants to be a veterinarian, why do you want to be a veterinarian? Because I want to help animals, because I love animals. These people have probably wanted to be veterinarians since they were children. And then you challenge them on their ethics, and all of a sudden, it's like you flip their world upside down. By the way, we do not intend to bash veterinarians.
Of course not.
They are some of the kindest people on this planet. We love our veterinarians. We are simply saying that, these are people who have such clout in our societies. They have knowledge about animals that most people don't. If anyone, they understand animal suffering.
They have a lot of power in the way that the public views animals.
We are simply saying that because of this, they have so much responsibility. We want them to examine the consistency of their position.
Here's another one. LMFAO, analogous to a pediatrician eating children. Okay there. Y'all acting like production animal welfare and humane euthanasia aren't already hugely important and frequently researched topics in vet med and animal management. Equally strange are annoying vegans who are talking about animal suffering in the food animal industry as if they knew anything about the care and time that vets and farmers put into raising these animals. Y'all need to educate yourselves before spouting nonsense. So again, analogous, LMFAO, no counter-argument to why it's not analogous. You're just saying that farmers and vets care about animals, but farmers and vets who still eat animals are still caring for animals and still eating animals. So how is that not analogous to caring for children and eating children?
That's not analogous at all. You've been proven time and time again beyond a shadow of a doubt that you two don't know what you're talking about and cannot formulate an argument without being contradictory. Again, where's your argument? What we do know about this person is that she is a self-proclaimed dog lover. Let's just address the issue here. If we can summarize the majority of triggered comments, what people are basically saying is, I care deeply for dogs and cats, so how dare you accuse me of not caring about animals just because I eat cows, pigs, and chickens. What we like to do in situations like this is replace the victim. Okay, so if someone claims that they care deeply for children, say they work at an adoption center and they help place children in homes, but then they go home and beat their own children, would you say that they care about children? Maybe they care about some children.
Or let's say someone worked at a geriatric hospital clinic, but they go home at night and they abuse their elderly grandmother. Would you honestly say that they care about elderly people? Again, maybe they care about some elderly people, the elderly people that they treat.
Is that consistent? We can already hear the non-vegans screaming in the comments section, you can't compare animals to children. First, we would ask, why not? Children are animals after all. They both have the ability to suffer. We might all look different, we might have different levels of intelligence, we might have different behaviors, but it all whittles down to the one common characteristic that we all share is our ability to feel pain. That's not a question. That's a biological adaptation that is there to aid in the survival of our species, of human species and non-human species. Why is it ethically okay to cause harm to one species and not another if both of them suffer?
It's an arbitrary line. It's no more arbitrary than drawing the line at like a specific race or a specific gender or a specific sexual preference. It's arbitrary. There is no reason to discriminate against some species and not another.
No, people are perfectly happy standing up for all sorts of social justice issues as long as they're not the ones contributing to it.
But let's put all of that aside and just grant this absurd premise for 1 second. Let's just exclude humans from the equation altogether. We'll just stick with non-human animals. So if you think it is morally okay for a veterinarian to care for cats and dogs, but eat cows, pigs, and chickens, is it then okay for a different veterinarian to care for cows, pigs, and chickens and eat cats and dogs? If you view that second scenario differently than you view the first scenario, that is what we call hypocrisy. It is a contradiction in a person's moral framework, and it needs re-examined. As a society, this needs re-examined. The fact that we love cats and dogs and we abuse cows, pigs, and chickens.
In this country.
In this country. In other countries, it's different species. And then Americans get all up in arms because you're the weird ones, not us.
Yeah.
It's textbook hypocrisy. Veganism seeks to exclude the arbitrary boundaries between species.
I also picked up on this sort of idea that veterinarians have the responsibility to care for these animals for the benefit of their human caretakers, including farmers, because in their eyes, these animals serve a purpose. That's not what I think most people think of when they think of a veterinarian. You would think that they would put the animal's well-being first. We're not treating the cow to help the farmer be more profitable. We're treating the cow to make the cow feel better, right? We'll close with this. Like with any other video we make, if you were triggered by this, that is your conscience speaking. Otherwise, you would have just ignored it and moved on with your day. Like flat earthers.
Yes.
We don't mind that you think the earth is flat. Doesn't affect me.
I actually would not sit there online and try to convince a flat earther that the earth is round.
No.
Waste of my time.
But if you're in the comments screaming because something about this has made you upset, then really think about why that is.
And as with all of our videos, if you disagree with us on the topic of this video, all of our videos are an open debate challenge. So few people have actually taken us up on that offer, but if you believe that treating cats and dogs and not eating cats and dogs, but eating cows, pigs, and chickens, if that's ethically okay in your view, we are open to a live debate.
So guys, that's it for this video. If you have something to say, please drop a word in the comments and we'll see you there. Bye.
Bye.
Have you guys been hearing a pitter-patter?
Have you been hearing a clickety-clack?
Pitter-patter throughout her. That's Kate. That's Kate. Say hello once again.
Hello, Catherine.
Hello, Katie.
Who's my little nut chicken? Really? That's you? How are you doing, my little velociraptor?
Where's Jackie?
Jackie?
Jacqueline!
Oh, she's right here.
Oh, Jacqueline, you want to say hello?
Wow.
She's never been on the table before.
This is Jackie.
Hi, Jackie.
How are you doing, my girl?
Hello.
Oh, she doesn't care much for her diaper.
No, but it's outdoor time soon, and you don't
Yes.
you don't wear a diaper outdoors.
No.
It's fun time.
You go outdoors. Yes, we're gonna take a dirt bath, maybe.
My teddy took a... Like, do you hear that?
No.
Do you see it?
Yes, I see it. Did I hit it?
No. Don't kill it, but this is what he's doing. So
Sorry, I have water, right?
I don't think that's gonna help.
I see.
Yeah,
a
he's
mosquito.
going
I
like-
see him. I believe you. I believe you.
You're worth it to